I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, I'm hungry. I'm not throwing away my shot. I am 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 not throwing away my shot. Oh yeah, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, I'm hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. Everybody sing. Oh, 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 oh.
Welcome back to the channel.
Thank you for the returning subscribers. And for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Celine. If you like the vibe, go ahead and subscribe. I'm located in the United States, and today I am paying my respects to the National Cultural Arts Center, also known as the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, located in Washington, D.C. Now, tell you this, the Kennedy Center's mission is to present world-class art, provide art education, and honor President Kennedy's ideas. It's a host of a variety of performances, including theater, dance, music, comedy, and more. Their mission is to present art that reflects American culture and diversity and offer arts education opportunities nationwide. It also serves as the home for the National Symphony Orchestra and the Washington National Opera.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
For those of you who know, the
Get back
orange
to
man
the
in
children.
office is ruining the Kennedy Center. And not only the Kennedy Center, the nation.
Greedy.
Donald Trump had replaced many board members with his own supporters, and on Wednesday, the new board appointed Trump Kennedy Center chairman.
So we took over the Kennedy Center. We didn't like what they were showing and various other things.
This is what he told reporters Monday night.
I'm going to be chairman of it, and we're going to make sure that it's good and it's not going to be woke.
He also told reporters he had never been to a show at the Kennedy Center because, quote, there was nothing I wanted to see. Deborah Rutter is in our studios now to talk about the abrupt end to her tenure. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
How abrupt was it? How did you find out all this was afoot?
I was actually in the basement of the Kennedy Center with my executive assistant, and I got a phone call from a member of the board.
And what was the phone call? What did they tell you, and what went through your mind?
It was very short and direct. It was from somebody I'd worked with for many, many years.
Did you have any idea this was coming?
Well, I wasn't surprised. There had been communication saying that an interim executive director would be coming in to meet with me and to work alongside me. I read between the lines a little bit.
You know, after you got the news, you said you got a phone call. What did you tell your staff? How did you communicate all this to them?
I knew that something was happening because we had called a board meeting for Wednesday afternoon. And I have always been a big believer that you share everything that you possibly can with your staff. You communicate with them quickly and transparently. So we had called a staff meeting in the Reach in Studio K for that afternoon. And so when I got the phone call, I waited a little bit and then walked over to Studio K and walked in the door and found it filled, absolutely jam-packed with my colleagues. And so I gave them a little bit of news. They jumped up and they were being very enthusiastic. I pride myself in being a good leader and knowing my people. And it was hard to see them all there, I will say.
What did you say? What were your words?
So I started out just by saying, I'm going to be short, and I hope to keep this private amongst us because that's what this is. And in the little bit before I walked in the room, I had jotted down some notes, in fact. And I said, forgive me, I'm going to tell a story that some of you have heard before. My parents gave me the opportunity to play the piano when I was a little kid. And in the third grade, my public school teacher opened a cabinet door and said, what instrument will you play. Not would you like to play, will you play?
Right.
This was to the entire class. And I chose the violin. And I often think of that day as being the pivotal moment in my life because I have made all the important decisions around music and the arts. And I mean that, what I did in my free time, etc. I have spent all of my professional career, all these 47 years, really focused on uplifting the artist and bringing music to as many people as possible. The last 10 years, I have had the great privilege to work with this extraordinary group of people, and I wish them the best, and I tried not to cry too much. I did close with one last thing, which was really important to me, which is that we wear a lanyard for our badge to get into the building. And when we celebrated the 100th anniversary of JFK's birth, we worked with Jean Kennedy Smith, his sister, who was still alive at the time, to really talk about what he stood for and what was important to him. And what I said to the staff was, let's remember these ideals that were created with the Kennedy family: courage, justice, freedom, service, and gratitude.
Is there anything else before I let you go that you would like Americans to know or understand about this situation at the Kennedy Center and what it will mean for the arts in America?
Art is all around us. Art is a way to unify us and should not be dividing us. We have to pay attention to our artists, all of them. They all have different points of view. And that's a great thing. That is a part of who we are as Americans. And we must uplift them, not limit them.
Deborah Rutter was president of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts for a decade until she was ousted this week. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's greedy. Let's say it again. Greed. Blah, blah, blah. And fuck people like me over. Don't fuck it up for the rest of us. Don't fuck it up for the actors like me.
Shout out to the Kennedy Center for providing programs to support the theater in their local communities, left and right of Washington, D.C. I say shout out because I have been affected by multiple programs by the Kennedy Center. Whether they're reaching out to students, I've been able to come to the Kennedy Center multiple times because of students, how they support high schools in the area and bring them in and give them nominations to say, hey, you're good. I got nominated for Best Supporting Actor in my little role of Murderer Number 1 in the Scottish play. I'm just saying, I wasn't even Lady B. So that was beautiful. That gave me my first honors to be like, hey, maybe I should be an actor. Then I ran into an Uber driver, G.O.A.T, shout out G.O.A.T, who wrote the play for Tina Rama Dance-Thon. Kennedy Center provided a program for playwrights so that they could get their plays started. I was able to go back to the Kennedy Center to do a reading for her play.
Thank you to our National Cultural Arts Center. I pray you never change for the worst.
But let's recognize how black artists has always been alienated from America. You go back in the day to most of the famous black artists, what did they do? They left America or they were blacklisted. Eartha Kitt is a great example.
In Alone with Me, Johnson's appearance at the luncheon reads like a kind of final straw, a confirmation that the luncheon was less democracy in action and more democracy as spectacle. Now it seemed contrived, a purely political move. As a show business person, she wrote, it was obvious to me that the luncheon was being carefully staged for the president's appearance. And in my opinion, most of the people there were more concerned with the decor, the television cameras and news people, and the prospect of seeing Lyndon Johnson in person than they were discussing crime on the streets. I was most definitely getting upset. I hadn't flown from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. to watch a show. This must have been frustrating on a surface level in that it's fundamentally disappointing when something doesn't live up to expectations. But I also have to imagine that this realization touched upon something deeper in Kitt. The lack of resources for young people was a concern for Kitt because she had lived it. She had witnessed all of the violence and poverty that those women were ostensibly there to address. Getting to the White House and coming to the realization that policy was a sideshow to positive publicity must have hurt. Much in the way Marilyn Monroe differentiated between Norma Jean and the persona of Marilyn Monroe, Kitt often spoke about a separation between Eartha May and Eartha Kitt. She arrived expecting to solve Eartha May's problems, but was instead asked to be Eartha Kitt.
You can't tell me shit. Eartha Kitt came from a plantation, made her way in America as a big star, got banned from America, exiled, and then she was international superstar. So I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit about what you can't do. I don't want to hear shit about what this government is not doing for you, because guess what? They never did shit for you in the first place. So when we do have things that are benefiting us, it's great not to take them for granted. But look, motherfuckers will come and take it away anyway. So that's just me and my TED Talk today. It's a beautiful day, okay? I'm about to do some cartwheels.
My final takeaway from this video is support local theater, support local artists, be the movement yourself in your own community. That's what it is. Donate to your local theaters. Donate to your local artists.
They hate it when you black.
You don't have to wait on someone to put on a show for you. To put it on yourself.
Oh, and I'm indigenous. Oh, I know you hate it. Oh, I'm so free. Say it loud. I'm black and I deserve a Grammy and an Oscar. Multi-talented. These strings play themselves. Let's get off the property. God don't like ugly. Look over there, that's Watergate. So if the Kennedy Center stick to what it was doing and reaching out to the programs and, the city and bringing all lesbians and artists together, united culturally, it doesn't make a difference. Like, we should bring back the Rainbow Coalition. Because, it should all be about peace and unity, bro. It should be about all that bullshit you stressing, dude. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. It should be about art, and art is not racism. It's something that's glorious, something that's beautiful, something that you can't always define. And guess what? Racism has a fucking line. But the beauty of art, there is no line. That's what you call abstract.